is a live presentation of CBC Sports.
When I was 6 years old, a special memory stands out from all the others. What Christmas means to me. That year I started playing house league. How I love to skate. I counted down the days each week to get to Saturday. I had an older brother, so I got his hand-me-downs. We'd search the Christmas catalog, our eyes grew wide and round. My skates were worn and battered, there was no steel left on the blades. That's why I asked Santa for a brand new pair of skates. That year it snowed on Christmas Eve, and little did I know, my dad and mom had rolled a rink, flooded the backyard snow. At the crack of dawn on Christmas morn, down the stairs I raced, and there under the Christmas tree was a brand new pair of skates. And that's how I remember Christmas from my childhood days. A backyard rink on Christmas morn, and a brand new pair of skates.
There is a certain anticipation in the air as we welcome you to Montreal. Game one of doubleheaders Saturday. 4 days till Christmas Day, and what a nice treat. We're off to Denver later, but first up, original six rivals, the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens from sold-out Molson Centre in downtown Montreal. Good evening, welcome to Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. I'm Ron McLean, and you kids, I know what I was like this time of the year, 4 days away from Christmas Day. Remember this, don't be counting the gifts. You saw that anticipation of new skates and hand-me-downs. Don't count the gifts. If you're having trouble sleeping Christmas Eve, don't count sheep. Just count your blessings. And to all, from all of us, all the best for a great holiday season. New York Rangers here in Montreal, where they haven't won in over 5 years, except in the playoffs, but they're playing one of the toughest teams. The Rangers going in 7-1-1, second hottest team in the month of December. Philly is number one, and the Flyers were hosting St. Louis today, and we'll show you the highlights of that game before we move to the Rangers-Canadian setup with Don Cherry. There's Jimmy Roberts now behind the bench, of course, for Mike Keenan, who was fired on Thursday. Scoreless game until the second period. Trent Platt redirects the shot by Eric Desjardins. 1-0. Flyers beating John Casey there. Joel Otto then from the top of the circle makes it 2-0. And then in the third period, John LeClaire with the backbreaker as he somehow beats Casey here. Scores the goal. Yes, you look great. Just a minute. Wait till you're on. That made it 3-zip. Samuelson rounds out the scoring. How about the Blues? 2 in a row without Keenan. They fall 4-0 for Philadelphia. They tie an NHL record, their fourth consecutive shutout. You look good, Don. Are you trying to steal the moment again here?
Pat Burns, he said, I'm wearing on TV. You got nerve enough, and I said, I'll wear it too. How do I look?
You look excellent, just like Papillon. There's Mark Fawcett, referee going by as the guys there. Scotty Driscoll from Seaforth, Ontario, one of the linesmen going out. New York Rangers have turned it around.
Well, if you remember me saying all the time, will they get rid of this World Tournament syndrome? Richter never couldn't get over how great he was there. They had 9 guys in the World Tournament. They're just trying to get ready now, and they're going. They're smoking. They lost the last game kind of tough, and they've been sitting here for 3 days stewing. Mario says he's ready to go. Mario says they're going to win the game tonight. He promised it.
Who impresses you for New York? Wayne Gretzky's a point out of the scoring lead.
Well, they all do, but I tell you, Adam Graves right now is playing the best hockey of his career. You don't hear much about him, boy, but he's like the Cam Neely type. Takes the body, scores the goals. He's a beauty. Watch for Adam Graves tonight.
All right, Montreal Canadiens and the New York Rangers coming up. There's Adam, of course. Just a quick thought looking ahead to the Game 2 of the doubleheader this evening. Colorado hosts the Toronto Maple Leafs. You saw the game against Phoenix. What's with the Leafs?
Well, what's with the Leafs? Oh, what do we got here, an hour and a half? I'll just say they're snake bit. They can't do anything right. They get the goal the other night, pop in 2 quick ones. They got to have a great game from their goaltenders. They've got to have a game. How many times have I said this? He's got to steal him a game away. Cheevers, they're in a tough spot now. Potvin got to steal a game.
There's Joe Sack. If he scores, it's goal number 300 for him tonight if he gets it. And Patrick Roy, of course, they're still talking about here in Montreal, that famous night not so long ago. Well, we'll look forward to 2 fine matchups. Toronto Maple Leafs and the Stanley Cup champions. Of course, game number 1 here at the Molson Center in Montreal. Just before we go off to break, though, we want to say one word about a great wordsmith that was a colleague at Hockey Night in Canada and a Hall of Famer. Ted Darling passed away this week. Ted worked for a long time for the CBC Network Sports Division as a host and play-by-play commentator, and then went on to the Buffalo Sabres. His son, Joel Darling's one of the top producers now with Network Sports, seeing to it that the great family tradition of bringing fine sporting moments to you continues. For all of us, we want to extend our deepest sympathies to the Darling family and to say thanks, Ted. Tonight's telecast of the New York Rangers at Montreal Canadiens, we dedicate to you. Remember, they had just 4 victories, and we spoke about the pressure first with Coley Campbell, asked if his team was once fragile.
Fragile is I guess, a nice way to put it. We were very fragile. The wrong penalty at the wrong time, the wrong break. We started out the season with a number of bad breaks. I wouldn't say bad calls. The crease calls were always going against us. They never caught their foot in the crease, but caught our foot in the crease. And it's one of those things. And they were all in 1-goal games and huge turnarounds and at home, which is worse than on the road. So we had some bad breaks, and we were nervous playing at home. And you'd like to catch teams who are nervous playing at home, whether they're booing a few players at home, which is always tough on a team. And you'd like to catch them early, and particularly catch them on specialty teams.
Like I told the players, I mean, it's always the same thing. When the things are not going that well, it's not the time to have your head down. You know, it's time for the team to get back together and to win tonight against New York, because I really believe tonight there's not too many people who think that we're going to win tonight against New York. Everybody thinks we're going to lose that game, but I've got a surprise for them.
He says a surprise. Greg Millen, Bob Cole, and Dick Irvin are in the broadcast booth this evening. Just before we go upstairs, let's start with the New York Rangers. All of a sudden, one of the hottest teams in the NHL, and Don said he felt World Cup was the culprit. You agree with that?
Absolutely agree with it. I think the Rangers were completely out of sync early in the season. You know, what really changed for them, they spent 4 days out in Phoenix, got together as a group all of a sudden, and really became a team off the ice as well. And they've changed their system a little bit, too. They're now a more checking style. They used to be a run-and-gun type under Mike Keenan. Coley Campbell tried it, realized they're a little bit too slow for that. Now they're more of a containment team defensively.
And quick thought on the Montreal Canadiens, what they'll do tonight?
Well, they're out of sync as well right now because of their injuries. They just can't seem to get it together because of all the injuries. Their line combinations have been all over the map. They need more production out of Dom Foos's line.
Dom Foos, Savage and Recchi are going well. They want Raczynski, I know, and Vincent Damphousse to have a big game tonight. For the accounts of the Rangers and the Canadiens, here are Bob and Dick.
Thank you, Ron, and good evening, everybody, and good evening to you, Mike Richter. The goaltenders starting for the New York Rangers tonight. Everybody's already said it. This is a red-hot team. This guy is red-hot, too. At the other end will be Jocelyn Thibault. Mark Fawcett will be the referee in this hockey game, and here he is. Working on the lines, Scott Driscoll, Leon Stickle, and starting for the Canadiens. Recchi, Richer, Savage, Brisebois, and Barron, the defenseman. Karpatsev and Samuelson, the defenseman for the Rangers. That is Gretzky shooting it in deep. The Canadiens don't get it out, and Gretzky is on it in there. Look out! Big save by Thibault. Gretzky on the puck again. Another shot is knocked away. Thibault didn't quite know where it came from. But there's Gretzky doing it again. And he set it up in front, and Robitaille almost missed it. Robitaille to Gretzky. He tried to get it back out front of the Canadiens. Throw it to the corner on the other side. Brisebois dumping it down the ice. Well, the first shift, and the red-hot Rangers and the red-hot Gretzky, and the crowd jumping in the first 20 seconds.
Well, the Canadiens aren't red-hot. A defensive zone turnover, just sort of an innocent-looking thing at the beginning along the boards with Brisebois checked off the puck. springs it free. Guess who's there? And 99 gets a backhand, and from that point on, the Rangers had a couple of pretty good chances in and around the goal crease area. Isn't it amazing, Bob? Here he is. You know what people said about him the last 2 years or so, challenging for yet another scoring championship. What a start.
36 next month. Canadiens want to attack now. Here's a chance.
Big stop by Richter, as we had a great save by Thibault. And now one by Richter, and we haven't hit the 1 minute mark yet.
Well, maybe we got a wide open hockey game in store for us. Mike Richter had such a great World Cup here in this building. Then when the Rangers played here on the 12th of October, he didn't last the hockey game. The Canadiens knocked him out of the box with 5 goals. Right here, back to the form of September. Sharp angle shot from the right side. Richter with the glove grab.
Puck is shot the length of the ice. The goaltender won't play it because this is an icing call against New York.
Well, the Rangers have been hot, Bob. The Canadiens have not. They have 5 regulars, you might say, out of their lineup because of injury. And in fact, Benoit Brunet is supposed to come back tonight after a broken leg. Came down with tonsillitis. So that leaves the team 1 player short as far as the forwards are concerned. Because there you see the lineup. Recchi is going to check Gretzky, it looks like, and Danfus Messier. And on defense, they have 7 dressed, including Jason Cullimore, obtained from Vancouver in a deal, who has played in just 1 game so far for Montreal.
Amchinov is number 13 for New York against Bordelot for Montreal. Canadiens control it on the faceoff. Went after it. That is Thornton in the corner trying to dig it out. Doing a pretty good job of it. Malikov waits at the line. Now he has to back up, and the puck is in the center ice area. Lifted a little bit too high over the glass and the penalty box.
Well, the Rangers are relatively healthy and coming in here on a roll. They go home tomorrow night to play the Florida Panthers. The Canadiens' next game Monday night here against Ottawa. As we take a look at their forward lineup, and boy, Messier, Gretzky, they have just picked it right up. And Adam Graves, as Don said, has been playing very good hockey. And the defensive combinations for New York.
Ryder and Lidster for the Rangers. Get it in deep. Malikov brings it back to center for Montreal. Gets it over the line with Danfus getting a weak shot, and he missed the net by a fair margin. Messier on the ice. Nearly set up a play for Graves. Canadiens come back. Cullimore, number 35 for Montreal. Did not get it out the first time. Now it's Ruchinski putting it up on open ice, and Danfus has a chance. And he is offside.
Well, the viewers across the country may note that the Canadiens at home are wearing their usually road uniforms, the red. They were going to wear the reds all through December. There's been a couple of glitches, like the other night when they thought that Tampa Bay was coming in here with their dark uniform. So the team skate out to warm up. Montreal's in white, so's Tampa Bay. And 40 guys in white sweaters out skating around in the warm-up. Canadiens were very busy after the warm-up. They had to change uniforms and came back out in their reds.
Greg has made it up from downstairs, and his opening comments with Ron.
He's hardly puffing. He's in better shape now than he was earlier in the season.
He's smarter, Dick.
The elevator, attaboy.
Thibault just touched it back to the Montreal net. Rangers are up for checking. Gretzky is on again, so the Canadiens know they have to be careful with the 3 of them in deep. Montreal do get it out, but not for long. Back for New York. Robitaille for Sundstrom. Back to Robitaille. Giving up, pushing on the board. Sundstrom gets a shot away. A low one and wide of the net. The Rangers can't knock it down. Pass up across center. So the New Yorkers couldn't play it. Savage brings it back in for Montreal with a shot. Hit a skate, and that is away wide. But the Montreal Canadiens are in for checking. It is centered. Savage upended in front of the net. Cleared back to center. Robitaille eluding a hit. Got it up to Samuelson. Sundstrom and Gretzky. He'll go to Gretzky back of the net, but the pass was behind the 99. Stevenson to center ice for Montreal. Poke checked. Who's carrying on. testing Richter. Stick save, no problem. Lucinski trying to push it back at the goal. It'll be Sundstrom for New York. Getting it back to center, Popovich. No problem, handling it cleanly. Rangers pick it up. Noonan dropped it back. And they get it up behind Sherla. And down the ice. Nearing the 4-minute mark. No score in this one yet.
First update of the evening from the Corral Center in the nation's capital. The Ottawa Senators and Buffalo Sabres, and what a great drop pass. Randy Cunnyworth, how'd he know Laukkanen was there? Dominic Hasek to know it, and that makes it 1-0 on the third for Jani Laukkanen in the first.
Messier and the Rangers get ready in their own zone. 9-1-1 in their last 11 games. The Canadiens win this draw. Popovich, shot in there, big rebound. Richter looking for it. He finds it just in time with Thornton parked right in on top of him.
Had a few scoring chances, Greg, in this game. When these teams played back on the 1st of December in New York, they combined for 86 shots on goal. That's a high. One game, 2 teams in the league this year.
Mark Messier does a nice job of staying with the center iceman on this play. Canadians do a good job going to the net. Messier just lifts Domfus's stick at the nick of time in front of Mike Richter. That's a solid defensive play by Mark Messier.
Messier winning this draw cleanly. Bukaboom around the net, and he threw it back again for Leach. Lead pass. Sherla got a stick on it, couldn't control it. Popovich will take it deep in his own zone. Got it up on the boards, but not out. Thornton couldn't move it. Now it's lifted away, and Leach backing up. Their slow start, even though there have been some scoring chances. The two teams rather cautious. The crowd not into it yet. You get that feeling, and it should be a sellout here tonight at the Molson Center. Something like 21,000. Popovich and to back it up again. No score coming up to the 5-minute mark of the first. Popovich starting back with Recchi carrying in. Recchi jammed on the brakes. Now he's waiting for help. The Rangers were nearly caught changing. Now they pick it up, and Flatley starts it away. Noonan from center lifts one into the boards in the corner, comes back to Flatley near the line. Here's a chance right here, and Berg couldn't get the shot through. Canadians move it out. Riche stepping up. Bordelot going to the front of the net, and he took a swing at it but missed it. Savage goes in to help. Nemchinov pins him, keeps him off the puck. It'll be Berg for New York. Flatley along there with him. Didn't try to give it to Flatley, just shot it in, hoping Flatley could go in and pick it up. Malakov back out for Montreal down the right side with Bordelot. Malakov shot, Bordelot! Rebound right on for Richter again. And he covers up. Let's check again with another update. And here's Ron.
Bob, thank you. The game's just 5 minutes old in Ottawa, and it's tied 1-1, so they're getting lots of chances there. Donald Audette from Richard Smelik, and it goes between the legs and Damian Rhodes. 11th goal for Audette, 1-1 in the first period in Ottawa.
Well, the Rangers have been doing a much better job defensively. Third and fourth men have been back. They have 4 or 5 players now back in the neutral zone at all times. Mike Richter uncharacteristically gives a rebound out, but he's always in position for a second shot most times.
Recchi, number 8 for the Canadiens. Won the draw, but the Rangers hop back quickly and get it up to Gretzky. In center, he tipped it in. Robitaille going in. Stopped by Thibault. Gretzky feathered the pass through to Robitaille. Thibault, another big stop. Sundstrom now sees Robitaille up there, couldn't knock it down, went by him, and that'll be an icing call against the Rangers.
Oh, great. Good play by Luc Robitaille. When these teams played back on the 1st December, he was the best player on the ice. And after undergoing a lot of stress and strain in New York, especially from the fans, he's starting to play some pretty good hockey.
Well, confidence is such an important factor for players. And Gretzky and Robitaille suddenly now have some chemistry together. Nice inside-out move, but really, really fools Brisebois. Brisebois has been struggling at home. He's been minus the last 9 games in a row at home. And you talk about fans, Dick, and the pressure on players. How about Patrice Brisebois?
Montreal controlling on that face-off. Richter stopped it. Brisebois score! Recchi dropped a rebound. And the Canadiens take a 1-0 lead.
Greg, what about Patrice Brisebois?
Horns of winning face-offs. The Rangers get caught. 1-2-3 Rangers chase Richer, and that sets up a real scramble defensively for the Rangers and a breakdown right in front of the net. Mark Recchi makes no mistake at all. Richter has a tough time fighting this puck through traffic. Everybody's in front of him. That's why the rebound goes out, and all the Rangers are chasing the puck carrier. Recchi's wide open.
Wide open for sure, and Recchi gives the Canadiens a 1-0 lead. Popovich brings the puck up over the line. Rangers back. 6:07 the time of that goal. Kovalev setting one up. Messier didn't see it. Messier now to Leach. He threw it into the crease area. No shot. Got on the net. Kovalev just drilled it into a crowd. And the Canadiens move it out and down the ice. Richter had to play it. Stevenson missed it. Richter got back in time. He scooped it the other way. Kovalev again left it for Leach to get it out. He failed. Dom Foose stopped this time by Kovalev. Up to Messier. 3 Rangers on the attack, and Leach is going straight for the net. There he is. Pass was intercepted just in the nick of time. And there's Leach back at the line now. Tried to get away from his check, Stevenson, but couldn't. So the Canadiens cover up rather well, with Messier bringing it back in. Alikov on his knees, got back up smartly and got it up across center. Bordelot. He's had a couple of chances already in this first period. Rangers move it out, down the ice. 1-0 Montreal. First block. Recchi from Richer and Brisebois. 6:07 in this first period. Alikov around the net for Montreal. Off Lidster and out. Thornton gave him some problems. Canadiens fighting hard in the early going in this hockey game. Against, you'd have to say, the favored New York Rangers. Flatley. I did knock one down, didn't have to. Bill Berg is on it again. Centered it. Canadiens cover and get it back out into the center ice area. And they're on the puck up there. Montreal bring it in. And Richter covering up as Murray trying to come in from the left side. 11:22 left in the first. 1-0 Montreal.
I wouldn't seem right for the Canadiens to play through a game without an injury. This one happens early. Stephen Quintal goes down to block the shot from Kovalev, and I don't know how he got injured, but he needed help to get from the bench to the dressing room. And he's gone.
Sundstrom trying to poke it up for Gretzky. He did get up there, but Gretzky was turning the other way, and the Canadiens take it. Savage knifed it away to center. Gretzky slapped it back in for New York. Savage to the line. Recchi, he missed it. The Canadiens pick it up near center, and Richer dumps it in. Richter was out quickly to leave it for Samuelson. New York moving it up. Sundstrom, Gretzky tried to get in ahead of everybody, but it was broken up at the blue line, and now whistle dead on the offside. New York.
Well, Wayne Gretzky, 5 goals, 16 assists in his last 10 games. Obviously, he's back in form, and when hasn't he been in form in this National Hockey League career? What a great career he's had. You know, I was with him at breakfast this morning, gentlemen, and most people don't realize how tough it is to be Wayne Gretzky. There had to be over 200 or 300 people waiting for him in the lobby for his autograph, and there's no way that he could have been able to cope with signing everyone, so he had to sneak through the kitchen to actually get to the rink this morning so he wouldn't be mobbed. I mean, it was just quite a scene this morning here in Montreal. Players walked to the arena just a few minutes away.
Thornton stopped near center ice. Tried to pick it up and get in there, but it's New York. Gretzky couldn't move it too far. Trevor went after it. He missed it. Now Gunno hit his man. A little bit of a hitting. Starting now in this halfway mark of the first period. Noonan shot one in deep. Comes in after it. Malakoff takes it for Montreal and put it up high on the glass. Leach stopped it. Took a shot. That presented a little problem. Malakoff was hit hard in there. Thornton brings it over the line and wristed a shot into the midsection of Mike Richter, and he was in the right spot to let that shot come to him.
Catel is just coming back to the bench, Greg, and Malakoff is taking his time getting there after that last hit. The Rangers laying on some muscle in this whole sequence, first at their end of the rink and then at the Canadiens' end. And there's young Gono, and he really drills Malakoff.
Well, as a coach, that's what you want your third and fourth lines to do, is go out and create some energy and some good hits on the ice.
New York moving up. They're trailing Montreal 1-0. The goal by Recchi. He was open in front. Richer and Brisebois drew the assists. Chinsky tried a shot. That didn't get too far. Chinsky at the side of the net, leaving it for Stevenson. Chinsky is tied up. Got a skate on it, and that's where the puck will stay. Referee hollering. They want him to move it, but they can't. So the play is whistled dead.
Now Mark Messier's career point total stands at 1,499. His next point will put him in some very rarefied company as one of the 5 players to reach the 1,500 point mark. And his teammate, young Mr. Gretzky, of course, leads all. Messier, the only player to captain 2 different Stanley Cup winning teams. Edmonton in 1990 and the Rangers in 94.
Don Foose against him on this face-off, but Leach picked it up quickly. Got it up to center, and Graves dumps it into the Montreal zone. 9 minutes left in the opening period. 1-0 Canadiens. Don Foose up across center. Decides to try the shot before he hit the line. And he's in to pick it up back to the net. Rangers trying to cover. Messier left it in the corner. Ruchinski went in. Now the defenseman coming in off the line. Popovich. He had to back up quickly, though. They're all along the boards. And the Canadiens hang on to it in there. Stevenson with the shot nowhere near the net. Boom to Graves. And Graves was slow moving it out. Rangers a little rusty right here. Easy pass picked off by Popovich. And it goes again. The Canadiens making changes with Boom back. Montreal, good forechecking. Barron's shot hit the goal post, and it ends up in the crowd, up to the left of Richter. 1-0 Montreal, the only goal in this first.
Back in Ottawa, the puck will go across the way after the shot to Gary Galley, who has pinched in to join the attack, and he goes back, rearranges the play to Audette. Audette with a nice pass to Brian Holzinger. His 11th goal of the year at 8:38 makes it 2-1 Buffalo.
And here the Canadiens came within an inch of making it 2-0. Either the crossbar or the post. Here it is, off a stick, then a shin, then the crossbar, right up in the corner. 1-0 Montreal. And the Canadiens looking very poised. Lifting one away and down the ice. Potsev coming back.
The late penalty coming up on Chris Murray of the Canadiens. Berg hit him, Murray retaliated.
So Richter's on the bench. The extra skater on for the Rangers. They didn't do much with it. Gave the puck away, just trying to get back outside their own line. So the play is called, and here's the penalty.
Well, most coaches will tell you it's much better to initiate than retaliate, and Murray, in fact, retaliates here after Bill Berg, and we all know he is an aggravating type of player that draws a lot of penalties. He retaliates. He's in the penalty box, and the Ranger power play, first in the National Hockey League, goes to work.
Well, Gretzky will be back out as the Rangers get the first power play of the hockey game. Robitaille parked to his right. Richter coming back into position now, and the Rangers line it up. Leach and Driver are the two defensemen. Noonan, the other forward for New York. 1-0 Montreal, 7:30 left in the first period. And New York move it out. On the power play, Leach. Long pass to Gretzky. Stayed on side, dragging that skate. Gretzky off the boards. Pushed it to the side of the net, back to Gretzky. Looking back to the line. Goes in deep instead. Now he goes back to Driver. To Leach. Leach to the head to Robitaille. Canadiens in the four-man box. Noonan gets the pass from Gretzky. Gives it back to him. He was slow moving at that time. Robitaille gives him another chance to set it up. And watch this. Oh, it came off Noonan's stick. And he was open right in front of the net. Leach back. Minute 5 left in the power play for New York. Trying to tie the game here. Driver in off the boards, a giveaway. And Richer will pound it on the boards and down the ice again. 50 seconds left in the Montreal penalty. Murray in the box. Canadiens lead 1-0, and the Rangers move it out. Messier now. Got in across the line, took a hit, kept going as he shook it off. Kirk at the blue line. And a notion to shoot. Waited too long. Messier to Leach. His shot blocked, and there's Richer again. Shooting it the length of the ice. Canadiens are killing this one off. The first penalty of the hockey game. 20 seconds left on it. It'll be Quintal coming back. Icing waved off. He'll have to hurry. He does. To Danfus. Can't move it out. Leach is in deep. And Leach missed it. And the penalty expires. Murray on the ice. Montreal heading ahead from the home crowd. They've stopped the mighty Rangers on that power play effort. 5:20 left in the period. Lister and Samuelson. That shot in wide. It comes out front of the net all right, but Popovich was waiting for it. Canadiens get it out. Rangers trying to turn it back. They go to Lister. Samuelson gave it away. Thornton shot it in off the leg, and Richter was out to play it. Nearly got caught coming around the net. Again, Malakoff starts Montreal in. Thornton got across the line. Bordelot, 71 for Montreal, parked in front of the net. They do not get the puck up to him. Berg gets it out. Another penalty coming against Montreal. At least the Canadiens had the puck. They stopped the play.
Fawcett, the Canadiens had the puck when he blew the play down and it gave the penalty. That normally means the team with the puck gets it, but Ulf Samuelsson gets it for scrubbing Chris Murray along the glass, and the Canadiens get a power play.
And Dick, that was a long time back in behind the play. So the whistle was delayed quite some time. However, it's the Canadiens with the man advantage now. Samuelson is off for elbowing. Montreal leading 1-0. Messier trying to catch up to it. He won't. Not in time. It was cleared back by Malakoff right to the net for Thibault. Montreal looking very cool. Picking it up is Malakoff again. Graves was in trying to cause some problems. And he's not doing a bad job of it. Montreal trying to move it on this power play. Recchi went back deep again. Bure threw it up across the line. Richter trying to reach it. Couldn't get that far out of the net. Montreal had 3 coming at him. Boucher just barely got back outside the line with it. That's offside.
3:44 away from the end of this first period. The coach will be in his corner, of course, and along with Don and Ron in our first intermission, the future look, and it'll feature Chad Hins of the Moose Jaw Warriors. All of that upcoming in our first intermission. Greg, this morning Mario Tremblay questioned his team's intensity in recent games. You heard him talking about that. I don't think you can fault them the way they played so far in this first period.
Well, he was concerned about the way they battled in the corners for the puck, particularly on their power play. And you have to win battles all over the ice to win battles and win the power play puck possession. They haven't done it very much this power play as well.
The first power play for Montreal just fizzled, and mostly inside their own blue line. They didn't get much going at all. Kuczynski fired it up back of the net to Dom Foose. Banked it off the boards, and Quintal set it up. Richter sprawling, didn't have to make the save. Came off a skate in front of him, went away from the net. And the Rangers get it out and down the ice. Now only 25 seconds left of the power play. Canadiens had something going, and now their second crack. They haven't had too much going with the man advantage. Only 15 seconds left in the penalty now. Stevenson hooked it back to the goal to Dom Foose. Stevenson trying to set one up. Richter poked it away. 5 seconds left in the penalty, and that'll do it. As it's shot down the ice, and Samuelson is now out of the box. Montreal 1, Rangers nothing. Puck goes in deep, and Richter out to play it. To Graves. He'll be hit. But the puck goes down inside the Montreal line, and Popovich had to be careful. Churla is in there, roughing him up. Got a stick on it, though, and lifted it away to center. A puck save for Samuelson, and he's nailed by Quintal. Rangers Robitaille, low shot blocked. Churla hitting everybody. Now Montreal penalty. Thornton nailed Churla from behind, and he's going to go off.
Attack the agony of getting hit, I guess, Greg, in that last sequence of plays. It's a pretty good thumping going on out there, and Thornton, the thumper, gets 2 minutes.
Well, Shane Churla is the one doing all the hitting on the ice. Mark Messier had a little meeting with Shane Churla this morning. He said, look, you don't have to fight. Just play aggressively. That's what he's done so far this first period.
Minute 45 left on the power play, but only 1:40 left in the period now as the play is called. There have been a power play each so far in the period.
Just getting
this
back
one now, and no shots on the net in 2 power plays.
There's no place like home for the holidays. No place like home for these teams when they play each other. 10 times at Montreal, the last 10. The Rangers haven't won, and the Canadiens have not won in New York their last 9 appearances there. Of course, that excludes playoffs. Those of you remembering last spring.
Face off deep in the Montreal zone to the left of T-Ball. There's Gretzky on the corner, working it on the outside now. Pass into Robitaille. Tried to get it back near the line. It'll be Dom Foose skating out with it. He had Leach trapped. Now he's back. The setup nearly got into Kuczynski. Kuczynski stopped the puck, kept it in deep, and Noonan takes it back to the net. 1:10 left of the period. And about that time left in the Ranger power play, and they go in. But Gretzky was stopped. Gretzky, he might get away. He is. Oh, and he ripped it wide. But I think he drew a penalty on that break going in on goal. Did get the shot away, but missed the net. And a great effort by Recchi.
Breakaway. It's the 5th breakaway the Canadiens have had in 3 home games, and they haven't scored on 1 yet. But Recchi draws a penalty, Greg.
Well, Gretzky gets all tied up with the linesman, and that's why he gives the puck away to Recchi. And Recchi, he's hurried his shot, and that's why he misses it, because he's hooked all the way up by Brian Leach, and he really never gets good puck possession, and it's very difficult for players to get shots off and hit the net when they're going in full flight and being pressured from behind. Good play by Brian Leach on it to draw the penalty. It was what you call, I guess, a good penalty.
So they'll finish the period 5-a-side, which is 56.8 seconds. And Montreal with the only goal so far in the period. Recchi scored that. Nearly bagged his second right there. But Leach gets a penalty. And the Rangers move into center. That's Graves with Messier. Tried to pass to Samuelson. Didn't work. Messier in to steal it, though. All the way back to the line with it. And then lost it. And it rolled back out. Savage eluding one hit. Coming down and dropping it back for Dom Foose. He tried to make the setup. It comes back in front. Quintal going in. Richter looking around. And the puck is there. And finally he fell. And there it was. And he stopped the play. But he had no idea where it was seconds before that call.
The Canadiens have done a good job all during this first period finding late men, and the Rangers have been chasing the puck a little bit. 1, 2, 3 Rangers on the other side of the ice sets up this play by Quintal. Mike Richter, when he's on his game, has tremendous patience. He doesn't buy the move at all. He just waits and waits and outwaits Quintal. Doesn't really know where it is afterwards, but makes another wonderful save.
He didn't hear too much noise from the seats here in the Molson Center. It's about the only reason he knew it wasn't in the net yet. And he didn't move. And that stopped the play. 14 seconds left in the period. It comes out to center ice. Quintal, who had that great chance moments ago, will kill the period with Malakoff. 4 seconds remaining in the period. And that'll do it as they shoot at the center. And the siren goes to end period 1. Montreal the only goal. Recchi scored it, and they lead 1-0.
Isn't that nice?
That's very
Little
nice.
kitties.
All your Mickeys and Santa. Can I show my Santa?
No, you can't. Now listen, let me ask you a question now. I got to get this right now. You were skiing, and all that last week?
No, this coming week.
You still have your pink outfit now, all that? Your little pink outfit?
Little crimson, touch of gray.
Yeah,
What's
but
wrong with that?
Puffy, you know, little mittens and that.
You don't like skiing?
No, you know, you're all set. You go, yoo-hoo, here I come, ready or not.
Swooshing, we call it.
Swooshing down.
Anyway,
I'll be watching hockey games. That's what you should be doing.
Well, I'll be roughing too in Newmarket.
Wine,
2 games, maybe one other game, but I won't tell you about
around
that.
the fire with your wine spitzers
Got to
and
do
all
a
that.
little family stuff
All right,
once in a
let's
while.
go.
What do you think of the game?
Well, it's a pretty good game. I think both teams are just sitting back waiting. And somebody seems to open up and everything. Every time they get going, they get a penalty.
How come
Not
you
a
were
bad
cheering
game.
so madly for the penalty kill when
Folks,
Chris Murray went off?
You don't know how it's cheering. Please, when I see a guy like Berg, what he does there, you know what he's doing, and you know,
Antagonizing.
and then he goes away and he won't look at him. And a good guy Murray gives it to him and he gets the penalty. Come on, guys, kill that penalty. I love that Murray.
And he drew one. What do you think?
Same guy as he was in Toronto. Effective hockey player, but not my cup of tea. But go ahead.
Yes, he is. Good for you. Richard, your brother is a scout in the St. Louis Blues organization.
Yes.
I don't want to put you in an incriminating position, but Mike Keenan, the GM and coach, who I know Dick liked, right?
Well, I tell you one thing. I don't know how good a coach he was, but he's a great agent. $7 million. No, he's a great coach. Everywhere he's been, let's go through it. Peterborough, Toronto, Rochester Americans, New York. And they would have, I think if they give him a little longer here, he'd have been all right. I think the one mistake he made was Shanahan. That's got him off in the bad books with everybody with Shanahan. But the guy's won everywhere. He just had too many knives in him, and he was bleeding to death. So.
Looks like a simple power struggle with Brett. Do you buy that?
Well, yeah. What is he going to do? Get rid of Brett? Can't get rid of him.
Who would you bring in?
Who would I bring in?
Brian Sutter.
I can't go in. Sutter would be good. Jacques would be good. They need to be stroked now. No, they need to be stroked a little now. This team, if it gets in the playoffs, funny thing, they were 1 goal away from putting Detroit out last year. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah, and they with the second-string goaltender too.
Yeah.
So figure it out. They're not doing
just a minute. John Casey's a good goaltender.
not as good as Fuhrer, evidently.
Okay. What about? Well, they say Pat Burns, but he's too much like Keenan, right?
You said that, not
No,
me.
Pat said here.
Out here too.
Yeah, he says, everybody says, I'm just like Keenan. He says, give
Well,
me a
it's
break.
not
I'm
wrong
that
being
person.
too much like Keenan.
No.
Should be a lot of guys like Keenan. But go ahead, let's go. I got to hurry.
Good. Well, while I was packing my ski gear, you
Yeah,
were watching
we
hockey last couple of nights. What did you see? Anything interesting?
Well, I saw something, and I'm not going to show it. Somebody asked me, why don't you show it? I saw it because you'd be sick to your stomach. First of all, Kasperitis turtled. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. He turtled so bad when Peluso was after him. Everybody skated away, and he's still on his hands and knees. Then I saw Brent Hughes again. He's doing that again. McKenzie goes after him. He falls down, gets up laughing in an 8-2 game. I can't stand these guys. I mean, it just absolutely drives me nuts when I see guys doing that. And who was the other?
I don't know about Brent Hughes because he can fight, but Kasperitis, Zygmunt Palffy got in a fight, and he ended up shoulder his
Yeah, Zygmunt Palffy.
He
But the thing, no, he was just fooling around there and everything. Who was the other guy? My mind is going.
Well, you were going to bring up Randy McKay.
Randy McKay, Marchment and Randy McKay. I love Randy McKay, boy. He's a throwback. Marchment give it to Carpenter, whack, and then he'd give the old, he doesn't, Randy's pushing him and knock him down. I don't know why Marchment does that. He's a good, effective hockey player. I don't even mind him hitting the guys. But stand up when you're going to do that. And then Kasperitis is a good little guy, too. Stand up. Kids never turtle, at least anyhow.
What do you think about the obstruction calls? I know Mario Lemieux said he's not going to the All-Star game now.
Oh, that's Yami Yager. I can see those three guys. How are we going to intimidate the referees? Let's see now. I got it. First of all, Lemieux, you say, Mario, you say you're quitting because you don't like, you want more power plays. And then Francis, he's a quiet guy. You know, he'll be in the association. Yes, it was a beautiful game. I saw headlines. It was a wonderful game. And then, Yami, you say you're not going to the All-Star game. Here's a guy from Czechoslovakia. If he wasn't playing hockey, he'd be eating over there, eating a loaf of bread and an onion. And he says, and he's making millions in this, and he says he's not going. You know what I'd do if I was Bettman? You know what I'd do if I was Bettman? I'd say, you're not going.
You know what Scotty Bowman says? As bad as it may be, and tough as it is, this is the way it is in the playoffs. They should play under these circumstances.
Absolutely. What's the matter with this hockey? These guys, oh, it's tough. It's too tough. Good banging hockey. Look at that first period. There was a lot of good hits in it, too, although we didn't see that. I got to hurry here. I'm talking too fast. I got some good things, all right?
Clips, good.
Clips. Now, how many times have I told you kids, wait a minute, Eddie, how many times have I told you kids, passing the puck up the middle is bad, right? Remember I've told you? Let's see one that works, okay? Let's watch this here when that Gretzky gets. Leshizhin, I think it was.
No, it's the giveaway, but this is Karpatsev.
Yeah, watch this now. Now, that's beautiful. He almost scores on this and everything. Now, watch. Now, we're going to show this nice pass here. He walks in, watch that deke. Now, watch this here up the middle, kids. Watch this one. Watch this howitzer coming like this. The goalie shakes his head after. He's glad he's alive. Never. Guy, I thought he was going to get a 2-minute for delay the game. But watch this. He just throws it up.
Watch Mazzotti. Give it to him.
Yeah, but watch. Mazzotti, well, he should have given it to him.
Goalie, look at him look over.
Whoa.
Jeez, I've never seen that. He's on, before the shot, he's looking at
yeah,
Curtis.
but imagine looking and seeing something like that. That is, you're looking up, you see McInnes ready to shoot a puck. Never go up the middle. The boards are your friend.
And I know you wanted to say some nice things about your friends in Scandinavia because you're not a bigot. You are fair.
I'm a fair guy. And I say, you know, and I've been going after you kids. When you're hurt, you get up. And the guys, Sacco and Forsberg, they've been hearing me. They've been hearing that you don't lay on the ice.
I don't believe it.
Yes, I do.
Well,
Watch Sacco Koivoy.
I believe that they did this.
Watch this here now. He gets corked here. Watch that. Watch Koivoy get up. He gets nailed here. Good little guy. Watch, he gets nailed. Now watch, he gets up. Get up now, just like Brendan Shanahan. That's it, attaboy, Sacco. There he goes. Now I think we got Forsberg cutting into center ice again. Way to go, Sacco. Now we got another one coming up. Don't get your shot. Now cut into center. Attaboy. How many times have I told you not to do it? But watch. Forsberg gets up too. They're listening to me. I can't stand his helmet and everything and his visor. Get up. Get up. Attaboy, they saying Cherry says to get up. I'll get up. And he did it. Anyhow, when you go down there ski and you're going down like that, you know, it's skiing down there. I'll be watching hockey games.
Leshizhin, Karpatsev, Don Cherry under constant pressure here. There's a little extra clause in our contract.
That's it.
Coach's Corner on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Oh, that's sweet.
Père Noël.
Hey, your pink outfit's going to go nice.
Yes.
Ooh.
All downhill.
Down, yes. Beautiful.
Coach's Corner on CBC.
The second period has just begun, and the Canadiens are on a power play. Leach is 55 seconds left in his penalty. And the Montreal Canadiens move up a shot on the goal. And Richter stopped it. Rangers get it out. Messier is tied up, though, by Recchi. Malakoff left it in the center ice area. Shot in. Richter without the goal stick. He's been handed a stick from one of his mates. Broke his stick. Canadians on a power play, and Recchi tried the low shot. Smart move, but he missed the net, unfortunately, for the Canadiens. Once again, pass it around on the outside, and finally back to Recchi. Whipped it up to Malakoff. Shot in there, low again. And a nice save by Richter. Still without the goal stick, remember. And the Canadiens on a power play. It's centered. And the Rangers get it out. Leach is on the ice. Penalty over, and Messier is going in with him. Messier tried to stick handle through himself, and the Canadiens move it out. Richer did not see Malakoff up ahead of him. Driver turning back for New York. 1-0. The score, Montreal leading on the first period goal by Mark Recchi. He scored it at 6:07. Brisebois and Richer got assists. Recchi's 15th of the season. The shots, look at that. Canadiens 11, and the Rangers only 3.
Malakoff had that shot on the power play, and I think it hit the regular size stick. There's the break, Greg, on the shot. And the shot by Malakoff, I think it hit Richter's stick. I don't mean stopped it or he got lucky. There's the change.
And there's nothing worse for a goaltender. It's a horrible feeling when you have a heavy goal stick in your hands and then you have to use a light forward stick. You feel like you just don't have a stick at all in your hands. Richter made a good save afterwards with a forward stick.
You got a fight going. Churla of the New York Rangers and Thornton of the Canadiens. And boy, Churla is throwing well, so is Thornton. They're letting them go, as you see. And they're staying on their pins and wailing the right hands.
Well, Shane Churla is no stranger to this sort of thing. 3 years ago in Dallas, he had 333 minutes in penalty time. A couple of tough guys here.
Churla missing with that high right, but he scored on 2 more. And Churla came back with a hard right. Thornton knows tough. Goes to the left now and lands a couple of beauties. This is a heavyweight bout, folks. The linesman ordered to get back in, and maybe that's enough.
Well, this was a big story Monday night. Shane Churla is not supposed to fight right now. He's just coming off a broken orbital bone. He had a big heavyweight fight with Stu Grimson on Monday night. In fact, he wasn't even going to play tonight. Had a shield on. Took the shield off tonight. I mentioned to you in the first period how Mark Messier had a big meeting with Shane Churla this morning saying, look, don't fight. We don't want you to fight. Well, here he is fighting again in the second period of play. This will be even a bigger story in New York tomorrow morning.
Going straight to the dressing room. He got confused. He tried to open a gate on the far side. But here in this building, the visiting team skates across the ice to get to their dressing room.
Well, they'll get major penalties, that's for sure.
That was a nice imitation of Don Dunphy, Bob. I thought you did that very well from ringside.
Except just below our microphones and not just above our microphones.
And there's the high stick, and you can see Churla had his gloves off first again, and he did that as well on Monday night with Shane Churla. Colin Campbell took a lot of heat in the New York press after the game, saying, why did you have Churla on the ice, first of all, if he can't fight, and why did you have him up against Stu Grimson? Well, I think he'll take a little more heat again tomorrow morning, and Colin Campbell said, you know what, I shouldn't have had him out against Stu Grimson the other night.
Well, each shift he played so far in the hockey game in that first period, you recall, one shift in particular, he was quite physical. Threw the weight around. That time, he and Thornton. Major penalties. Canadiens. The shot. Richter stopped it. Richer went into the corner to bump his man. And the New Yorkers get it all the way down the ice, for which they will be called for icing the puck.
Colin Campbell had a great line when the team was going through trouble winning 1-9. He said, they've given me a new name in the paper. I didn't know my name had been changed. It's now Embattled, my first name. But not lately. Because in their last 9, as you see, the Rangers have lost just once. How about the Philadelphia Flyers, unbeaten in December, winning again today, their 4th straight shutout. The Canadiens, on the other hand, have had a very poor December. And after this game tonight and the game against Ottawa Monday, they take off on a 5-game road trip starting in Pittsburgh the day after Christmas.
Mike Richter coming off a shutout. He has had 2 shutouts in his last 3 games before tonight also. So some hot goaltending around the league.
That goal against Richter, you're right, Greg. They had gone through 138 minutes and change on the road without allowing a goal leading into this game with shutouts in Toronto and Buffalo.
And we are set to go to the right of Mike Richter. 1-0 Canadiens. Bordelot moved it into the corner, winning the draw, but it's Leach for New York. Nemchinov across center. Put one in off the boards for Flatley. He's tied up. Bird comes in to help him. Flatley turns away and then loses it. Bordelot slides it ahead to Bure, and he saw Nemchinov come after him with a hit and got away in time. Leach shoots it back in for New York. Flatley up, not in time. And it'll be Wilkie. For the Canadiens, the puck is out and down the ice. They're going to call this one icing. Boom back to touch it.
One of the players that has really simplified his game for the Rangers is Jeff Boom. And we spoke in our opening about how the Rangers really changed their game and got together as a team in Phoenix, while Colin Campbell had a meeting with all the defensemen and said, look, you're all trying to do too much. Just keep it simple, as Don Cherry said in Coach's Corner. Off the boards and out. Off the boards and out. And that's why Boom has been a much more effective player for the New York Rangers in the last few games.
Rangers are having a tough time getting the range on T-ball in this one. So give Montreal credit. They're checking closely. Messier knows that. As he gets set on this face-off and wins it. Rangers get on it. Kovalev can't center it. He's checked. And the Montreal Canadiens, very disciplined, come out of their own zone, 3 abreast, but they can't move too far when they get to the Ranger line. Now a shot by Quintal, and Richter decides to smother it with Don Foose coming in.
Stefan Quintal came close to a goal and a dandy bit of offensive business on the part of Quintal in the first period. The other night in the game against Tampa, he went coast to coast and scored a goal. And he drills this one right at Richter. He drops to his knees, makes the save, and covers up. Quintal has been a very steady performer for the Canadiens this season. Probably playing the best hockey of his career.
Messier took it away from Don Foose, winning that draw. Boom goes back deep, and Leach, the defenseman for New York, can't move it out. Don Foose chopped it ahead. Boom is stopped. Up near center ice. Ronneau on with the brakes. Across the line. Fed it to the wide side, and Kovalev didn't play it. So Boom comes back again. Ronneau, number 16 for New York. High stick. Made contact. That stops the play. It's still Canadiens by 1. That he's not going his best in this hockey game so far.
No, he hasn't played that well this second period as well, but you know, he's coming off an injury at his elbow. It's still very sore, and he can take face-offs, but he always has to put his hand backwards to do it. He's not 100%.
Well, not many of the Rangers are 100% so far in this hockey game. Shot total still very low. Canadiens go on the attack, and Gretzky decides to swing out with it, but he stopped before he got to center. Here's Robitaille, but Gretzky by this time was hit by Barron at the blue line, and that forced him offside.
When these teams played on the 1st of December, Wayne Gretzky got a couple of points, and that gave him a total of 3,000 points in regular season and playoff competition. Now just stop and think about that for a moment. 3,000 points. He said he didn't realize it. He found out about it on television the next day in the news or something. Didn't make an announcement or anything, but that's regular season and playoff. Oh.
Rangers have had still only the 3 shots, and we played 24 minutes of hockey. Canadiens 15 shots. And the only goal. Recchi picked it up, but that's hand pass called against Montreal.
Well, Mario Tremblay told us this morning that he was really concerned about back-checking on the rush in the New York Rangers. Players like Mark Recchi have done an excellent job this hockey game of picking up the 4th and 5th players coming in off the rush for the Rangers, and that's why this game has really been plugged up in the neutral zone. It's been a slow game so far because both teams have been doing that, plugging up the neutral zone and not letting the teams rush the puck through it.
Rangers come back in their own zone. Driver to Lidster. They get it out. Nemchinov, a chance on it. Poked it in and comes for the net. Tried to center it. Berg was up with him, and now he takes over. Got a pass back in front. Noonan had to turn to the boards. All the way back to the line, leaving it to Driver, and his shot just missed. Canadiens now clearing up on the boards. Not out. Rangers keep it in. Berg is forechecking. The pass was high over his shoulder. Under the glass and out, and Lidster for New York. Feeds it up to Nemchinov again. And he stopped a fine play by Cullimore, who was falling. Took away a great chance. Well, a collision or two on the line changes at the far side. Maybe a penalty.
Boy, there was bodies falling all over the place. Jason Cullimore, his first game as a Canadian in this building, only his second overall, and only his second shift tonight. Makes a good play, Greg.
A diving play. This isn't his man, but that's a fine defensive play to knock the puck off Nemchinov's stick. And he hasn't played very much at right, Dick, only a few shifts. So to make a play like that coming off the bench is a big one. Chris Murray, however, is in the box for the Canadiens. And again, another undisciplined penalty. And this has been one of the problems of Murray's career. He has to learn when to let a guy have it and when to back off and wait and take his number. And he gets caught again for high sticking.
So once more, the Rangers get a power play. Their third of the hockey game. And they're looking for their first shot with a man advantage. And that's something. Well, let's see if they do it this time. Dono from Gretzky. Back to the line. Leach. He doesn't shoot it. Pass goes in there again. Gretzky, side of the net with it to Robitaille to Gretzky. The shot is on. The rebound. Gretzky poked at it. And Dom Foose takes a swing at it and gets it high over everybody, the length of the ice. Leach in back of his own net. Coming away. Pass. Quick one. Up to Kovalev, and he gets it over the line with it. Dropped it to Gretzky. Hooked it back. Shot from the line is stopped by Thibault. Now the Rangers get something going on the power play. And it's Kovalev again. Driver to Kovalev. He went off balance. And they had a tough time keeping it in. Driver had to help him. And they get it to Robitaille. Gretzky is in close. The shot is blocked by Thibault, and it comes out. 45 seconds left in the penalty. It'll be Messier coming in with Robitaille, who's tied up in front of the net. Kovalev bumped in on the boards. Canadiens do not clear it. Driver's shot. That's blocked and cleared. 30 seconds left in the penalty. Montreal continues to lead the New York Rangers 1-0. Kovalev, one good move. Second one didn't work. He fell. Messier turns it up a bit and comes in with Leach right behind him. The pass was high, but Leach reached up for it. Now he'll wait. He's going to go for the net. Now he might. Yes, shoots, and it's blocked. And the Canadiens are going to kill off the penalty. Three of them lug it out to center ice. Nemchinov coming in, and the high shot by Barron deflected over the net. Penalty over. Rangers empty again with the extra man. Still trailing 1-0. Messier failed to touch it, and that's an icing call against the New York Rangers. Montreal 1, Rangers 0.
That was a league record for left wingers that stood for 16 years until Luc Robitaille broke it. The LA Kings when he got 63 in 92-93.
Had a couple of chances in this game. Sorry, Nick, and has come up empty. As all the Rangers have. They managed 3 shots on their latest power play. But still, the goose egg. Recchi for Montreal scored at 6:07 of the first period. Offside. That pass.
Back in the early 90s, you know, fellas, I did a lot of radio and TV work with Steve. And he kept his eye. I can remember on Kevin Stevens one year. He was approaching it, but didn't quite make it playing with Pittsburgh. But he kept his eye on Luke, too, that season. But he couldn't stop him from breaking the record.
Rangers every man up. The 2 defensemen very close to the line. And they keep it in. Driver takes a shot in wide of the net. Noonan in on the boards. He was bumped and lost a chance to move it ahead. So Montreal come up with it. Barron near the line and dumped it in. Berg, the first one back for New York, took his man away. And then Quintal has to come back for Canadiens. Poked away at center, and Quintal will have to turn back. Ahead to Popovich. Lifting one up across center ice. Rangers start to check a little more closely now. 2 teams not allowing anybody else to move away. No open ice out there tonight. Not yet anyway. Gretzky trying to find some. Comes in for New York. Good play to Berg. Can't get the shot through though. It was blocked before it got near Thibault. During the 9-minute mark of the second, and Gretzky in there again. And he was knocked down, but Robitaille kept it in. Sundstrom knows Gretzky's behind the net, so did Bordelot. He got in front of that pass and got it out for Montreal. Karpatsev up ahead to Gretzky. Over the line, trying to set it up. He does. Samuelson's shot is blocked. And Richer might be hurt. He's slow getting up as the Canadiens shoot it down the ice. Offside. Richer was hurt. Seems to be okay now, but for now, we'll go to Rob McLean.
Bob, thanks a lot. You saw Stéphane Richer get up. Saku Koivu, the electrifying Finn, is with me, and Don Cherry just praised you on the coach's corner for doing that, Saku, but I'm assuming you don't watch him, do you?
Well, I watched that once for a while, but my little brother is a big fan of him, so after the game, I think it's better that you come downstairs and you say hi to him.
Oh, isn't that great? You can meet him. How's your knee doing?
It's doing pretty good. It's getting much better, and I think next week I can start to bike a little bit, and hopefully I can be back as soon as possible.
What have you done if you can't bike up until now? What have you done to try and stay fit?
Well, nothing. I just, icing that and hopefully, because, if you don't do anything for 3 weeks, your muscle's getting away, so hopefully I can do something next week.
Every night you give us a little jewel when you play. Hope that's real soon.
Okay, thank you.
Well, you just saw it from behind the net. You've seen that a million times, probably. Gretzky setting up the tying goal for the New York Rangers.
Exactly what the Montreal Canadiens didn't want to happen just did. Gretzky sets up behind the net. The only thing he can do when he does this is force him to his backhand, but at times that doesn't even work. Gretzky goes to his backhand, and it's always the late man without the puck that you have to be aware of, and Samuelsson sneaks in from the point and just really outpositions his check and makes no mistake of between Thibault's legs. Canadiens come right back and nearly get the go-ahead goal. The Rangers have tied it with 1-1 now. Samuelsson set up by Gretzky. Montreal open it up a bit. Don Foose coming in front of the net. Grabbed from behind, he goes down the crowd. Wanted a penalty. But the play goes right on. Graves missed a chance to move out. Messier up on the puck for New York. Back to Graves, his shot blocked. Messier giving chase, but it's going to be cleared by Stevenson. He lugs it out to center and then left it for Wachinski to shoot it deep. Samuelsson from Gretzky at 9:16. The scoring play for New York. 1-1. Nemchinov gets to the line and keeps going in. Trying to get by Barron. Stopped him.
Gets loose again. Skates away from the Montreal defenseman around the net. And the weak backhander is blocked. Another shot. That just missed as Noonan one-timed it. And the shot by Lidster is blocked in front of the goal. Rangers applying pressure down. Driver missing, knocking that one down, and it goes all the way down the ice. That's an icing call against Montreal. So Samuelsson, his third of the season from Gretzky at 9:16, and now here in Montreal, we are tied at 1.
And Wayne Gretzky's now tied for the league lead in scoring with Jaromir Jagr, 49 points each. The Penguins haven't scored yet on home ice tonight in their game against San Jose. So you've got Jagr and Gretzky with 49 and Mario with 48.
They've added an assist to Sundstrom on that goal by this man, Samuelsson.
And you know, the Canadiens were in perfect position on that goal if they just would have held their positions. And that's where they got themselves in trouble. Gretzky sets up behind the net, but everybody's back. And Samuelsson goes right by his check at the point. The check circles the top right of your screen, and that allows, that was Richer that just let Ulf Samuelsson go, and that's why he was open in the slot. And Gretzky found him.
So a 1-1 tie with 9 minutes left in the second period. Noonan in there for New York. He's stopped. Noonan tries it again. Goes in along the boards to pick it up. Berg there trying to battle his way off the boards in the corner. Noonan is knocked down, and the Canadiens get it quickly out to center ice. Dropped back to the line, and the high shot by Malakoff off the glass. Canadiens are on it to keep it in, though. Richer coming for the net. Poked away from him. He centered it on his second try. And then the puck comes back to center ice. Recchi feeding one up to an open man. Richer going for the net. And it bounced over his stick as he was cruising in off the right wing. Wilkie, Rangers changing. Nice play, gets down to Domfus, and he turns it on. Wyszynski's shot is blocked. And Berg gets it out to Gretzky. He's down the right side as Sundstrom carries in with him. Gives it to Gretzky. He turns at the line. Gretzky backhands it at the net. Rangers pick it up. Sundstrom, though, was hit. And the Canadiens clear it up, 3 of them. Domfus coming in, set up in front. And Sundstrom got back. A great play. Robitaille and Gretzky. Drop pass. Leach was in too far. The pass behind him. And Leach got back to intercept the Canadiens' rush. Turns. And lost it. Near center to Domfus, who's picked it up a notch here in the second period. 7:20 remaining in the second. Robitaille, Sundstrom, and Gretzky. They can't get it going. Brisebois for Montreal. Coming in, Bure tried to swing back in front of the net, lost it. Kept it in, though. Chopped away by Robitaille. Murray for Canadiens. Bukaboom takes care of him. The puck in on the boards. They try to hold it, but Bukaboom got his stick on it, whipped it away the other side. Quintal couldn't stop it. Bure has to come back. 1-1 tie. Second winding down. Richter stopping that long shot from Quintal. And Messier takes the pass, but has to circle deep in his own zone. To Leach, to Graves, down the right side, man open. Kovalev coming for the net, right in. He tried to make the fancy play back in front, and the Canadiens get 3 away. Now it's opened up a bit. Richer centered it. That's tipped just wide by Savage. Richer has it again. Now a chance. Montreal right in. Oh, what a save by Richter. This is more like it. Puck shot down the ice. Quintal, he didn't play it. So, no icing. But didn't matter. Canadiens on it again. They're charging in. And offside was Richer at the blue line. 5:56 left in the second. Rangers have a penalty on that last stoppage. Kovalev is in the box. Hooking is the call against Kovalev. So Montreal in a tie now with New York, with a power play and a chance to take the lead before the period is done. Samuelsson has tied the game here in the second from Gretzky and Sundstrom. Recchi for Montreal in the first. Montreal line it up. Put in deep to the corner. Ruchinski against Bukaboom. Dumfus there. And it'll be Leach for New York, who will find the opening to get it to center ice. Ruchinski turns it back along the boards. And there's Leach back there again, but this time he doesn't get it out. Loose puck, and again Richter makes a great save. Canadians come close again. Richter, beautiful goaltending right here. Dumfus shoots. Richter doesn't have to worry about that one. It hit a leg and bounced away from the net. The Canadians keep the heat on. Another shot is blocked in front of the net. Malakov throws it into the boards. Gets it again. Another shot. Richter the save. Score! You can't stop them all. And the Canadians take a 2-1 lead.
Well, you remember Don Cherry in Coach's Corner says be very careful going up through the middle. Well, Leach tried it twice in this last sequence and was burnt because of it. And eventually it cost his team the goal. One thing the Canadians have been working on all week on their power play is just getting it to the point and jamming the net. Richter lets go a rebound here, an uncharacteristic rebound, because of all the traffic in front of him. If a goalie can't see the puck all the way in, it's very difficult to control the rebound. And you know you can't make the second save. And Vincent Dumfus, Dick, he really needed that one, didn't he, for his confidence?
Well, he's been under a lot of heat lately. I don't think he could fault his work ethic, but nothing was happening. He wasn't getting much help from his friends, Wyshynski, Brewery, his line mates. Richter takes a breather. I think the Rangers have called a timeout here.
I'm sure they have. Well, Richter made so many great saves. And then rebound, well, as you mentioned, Greg, with the crowd in front of Richter, he didn't have much of a chance.
None whatsoever. But when you give the puck away in your own zone when you're killing a penalty, you start to run around and you lose your composure. And that's what happened to the Rangers on that last play. They started to run around. The Canadians moved the puck extremely well and put it in the net.
15:28, the time of the go-ahead goal by Montreal on the power play. Dumfus from Ruchinski and Malakov. So it's Montreal 2 and the Rangers 1. Good power play by the Canadians. Richter, the hand up, showing his defenseman Karpotev that'll be icing if he'll hustle. He did, and it is called icing.
His 10th goal of the season, giving the Canadians a 2-1 lead. The curse of the captaincy here in Montreal. And there you talk about it. It's almost from the time he became captain after the Turgeon trade that his production fell off
well,
a touch or two.
He has picked up his tempo in this second period. I thought Dumfus rewarded picking up that rebound on the power play by Canadians to give Montreal the 2-1 lead, and 4 minutes remaining in the second period. Samuelsson didn't wait long enough. That's called on the offside. Samuelsson causing a ruckus. He kept going and nailed the Montreal player.
Well, Brisebois and Samuelsson collide. I think Brisebois did the hitting on that along the boards after the offside whistle had gone, which of course always results in the gathering of the clan. Something like that happens.
In traffic, things are moving. The Canadians up 2-1 and just under 4 minutes left of the second period. I'm Bob Cole along with Dick Irvin and Greg Millen in the booth. Ron McLean and Don Cherry along with us. We're coast to coast on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC tonight. Canadians looking to go up another one. Stevenson shot, look out! Off the glove of Richter, but it it stayed out. Richter had a busy second period. Stevenson bumped, gets loose, went off balance, got back on his skates, then was tied up by Leach. And the Canadiens come in to pick it up. Wyszynski turning it back out in front of the net, and Leach takes a look up through the middle. He goes, gets it to Messier. He put it in on the right side to Kovalev. And he tried to center it. That was blocked. It does come out. Gano's easy shot is grabbed by Thibault.
Tonight in the second intermission, the dark and stormy reign of Iron Mike Keenan came to a thunderous halt Thursday. We'll examine all aspects of the dismissal on the Hot Stove League by satellite.
Well, I don't know about Mike Keenan leaving the Blues, but it hasn't helped him on the ice. Poor Jimmy Roberts taking over, one of the good guys in this game, as we all know. They've played 2 games since the Keenan dismissal. Not only have the Blues lost both games, they haven't scored a goal in either one.
We said there would be a sellout tonight. In fact, the announcement just been made. 21,273, a sellout here at the Molson Center in Montreal. Driver has to come back for New York. Under 3 minutes left in the second. The Canadiens buy a goal over the Rangers. Driver starts it up again. Everybody checked though. Not much room between the 2 blue lines for much to happen. Malikov turns back in the net, decides to get it out. He's happy with that. Rangers had to come back, and Graves with Churla. Graves pass intercepted easily. Driver couldn't get it very far. Churla turns back to his own side of center. Now he's rubbed in on the boards by Bordelot, and Montreal move up. The high shot by Murray. He got the rebound, hit the side of the net with a backhander. Bordelot trying to center it. Stays with it. He and Bure, and it's kicked away from Bure, and it comes all the way back to center ice. Now 2 minutes left of this, the second period. Bure touched it across center. He was offside.
Well, Valerie Bure, younger brother of Pavel, has been, I think it's safe to say, a disappointment to the Canadiens so far this season. Mind you, he had an injury layoff with a kidney problem. But he had a good playoff last year, Greg, against the Rangers, if you recall. And he came on the last 20-25 games of last season and played pretty good hockey. But, boy, he has just struggled to get off the mark so far this year.
Well, we've talked about Vincent D'Amfousse and how he's been having a tough time. Well, he hasn't had much help, has he, from Bure on one side and Wyszynski on the other.
That's Sundstrom, number 24 for New York. Trying to get the puck over in front of Gretzky, but the Canadiens intercepted and get it out. Barron has to come back. He and Brisebois, the Montreal defenseman, and Barron can't move very far. Gretzky centered it. Robitaille missed it after Sundstrom was checked. Gretzky again to Sundstrom. He scores! Just like that. Gretzky picked it up back of the net. There was Sundstrom. If you're playing with the guy, get in front and keep your stick on the ice, right?
And now he's leading the league with 50 points. That all started on a defensive turnover created when Murray Barron had the puck, elected to carry it a bit and lost it. Right here.
Now watch Gretzky go back of the net and watch Sundstrom come in front of the goal with the blade on the ice.
And Brisebois, why is he chasing Gretzky behind the net on that play? There's no way you can do that. That's a 2-on-1 low because of the breakdown. 2 Canadians chase Gretzky. Everybody's running around, and that gets them in big-time trouble. And here comes Brisebois. You just can't do that. And Sundstrom's left wide open in front of the net. Makes no mistake.
So the game is tied again, 2-2. Gretzky setting up both goals. That one by Sundstrom, the other by Samuelsson. Karpovtsov also got in on that scoring play, and the time was 18:33. Wyszynski's low shot. He didn't miss by much from 40 feet. Graves up to Messier. Messier gets up near the line, and that is offside. He made the move at the line, and Graves had gone in ahead of him. 47 seconds left in the period.
Greg, that ISO of Gretzky was very interesting to watch. You know, just look at his. Has there ever been a player that has good without the puck. The anticipation, where it's going, that's where I got to be. Bingo.
You know, he once told me that he sees plays happen at times before they actually do on the ice. That's a scary thought if you think about that, but, you know, it all has to do with reading plays and finding areas where nobody else will be. And that's exactly what he did on that last play.
40 seconds left in the period. We're tied at 2, and Gretzky again trying to set it up. This time the shot came off the boards behind Thibault. I didn't know quite where it was for a second. The Canadiens covered in time, shot it down the ice. Well, there'll be a face-off back inside the Canadiens line with only 24 seconds left now in the second period. That's an icing call, of course, against Montreal.
We saw a shot of Messier, then a shot of Wayne, and they're playing together. They've been on the same team, or they first played on the same team in 1979 and 80 with the Oilers. Is there any other twosome in pro hockey right now playing together in the same team in 96, 97? Who played together in 79 and 80? I don't think so. Quite a story.
And you have to laugh how most people said when the trade was, or when Wayne came over to New York, that both players would want the spotlight. Well, that never happened before, and it certainly isn't happening again. They're enjoying playing with each other again, for sure.
Richer down the right side for Montreal. Dumps it into the far corner. Recchi after it with Domfus and Richer. Back out to Recchi. It didn't work. Hit a stick. Came all the way back down inside the Montreal line, and the period will end as the Canadiens come back to pick it up. And the siren goes to end the second period. And this game is tied. 2-2.
But when did you master English? With Marcel Dion, right, in Los Angeles?
I mastered my English with Marcel in LA. Phil Sykes helped me quite a bit, too.
You said this is a rarity. You come to Montreal and you're going on the English broadcast. What do you think of the game so far?
Well, we're playing better in the second period. I mean, we made a few mistakes where we dropped the puck near the blue line. I did want to try to drop to Lichi there, but we just can't do that against this team. And as long as we keep putting the puck in deep like we did in the last 5 minutes, if we do that, we keep it down low, we'll make the plays. And as you saw, Gretz did.
Hey, your English is outstanding, but we were long-winded on the hot stove, so we got to rush off. But Merry Christmas. Okay. Keep it going.
All right, thanks, guys. One
of the hot Rangers, Luc Robitaille, 6 goals this month, coming up on 800 career games. The Hot Stove League is next.
Well, people are trying to find out for 15 years how to stop them. They haven't done it, so we're just trying to contain them as much as we can, and we're happy with the way that our team has played, you know, with the way that we played the last little while, giving up a lot of goals. We're very happy with the way that the team has performed, and hopefully we can have another good 20 minutes.
Good luck. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Well, that's what we have left, a third period. Barring a tie after 20, Steve. It's a 2-2 tie now as we start the third. And the Rangers on the attack first. But it'll be Brisebois clearing it up to Savage. Gets up over the Ranger line. Takes a look over in front of the net. Canadiens chop it at the goal, and Samuelsson scooped it out. Thibault leaving the net. Getting it ahead. And turning back is Recchi. Savage on the right. He goes the other way with the pass. And Gretzky was back there to scoop it into the corner, get it returned, and get it out. And the Rangers will make changes as Quintal goes back to Popovich. Lifting along one end to the far side. Leach for New York. He hasn't been his explosive self yet tonight. Ryan Leach. But of course, needless to say, always dangerous. Up is Messier. Trying the shot off his stick and wide of the net. Buczynski takes a quick pass. Upended. Play goes right on. Domfus coming for the goal. The backhander is blocked. And Messier was late getting over on the puck. Kovalev didn't see it. Bukaboom missed it a second time. Graves checked his man. Domfus. But the Canadiens keep it in. Man open at the line, and nobody saw him. Stevenson tried to get it back. But the play is called, and we have time for this update. So here's Ron.
Bob, just enough time to show you that just like our game, score 2-2, the Ottawa Senators and Buffalo Sabres in Ottawa. But here's the go-ahead goal. Mike Pekka breaks in and scores his 6th of the year. So it's 3-2 the Sabres in the third period there.
We played just 1:46 of the third period here. Recchi in the first for Montreal. Then in the second, Samuelson tied it. Dumfus power play goal to go ahead. And Sundstrom tied it. Gretzky in on both New York goals. And the Rangers. Leach, quick pass in behind Messier all the way down the ice to Thibault. Popovich, the defenseman back. Messier giving chase. Made the play in time before Messier could cause any problems. Dumfus up with Ruchinski. Dumfus gets some room to come in. Around the net, trying to jam it in. It's still loose. Canadiens up on it. And Richter comes out to stop the shot from the line. Montreal keep the heat on in there until Messier got back to take it away from Dumfus up to Graves. He won't get up to it, but Messier does. Turns back, rolled it to the line to Driver, and Graves missed a chance to pick it up in front of the net. Cleared down the ice by Montreal. Icing has been waved off, so Montreal will make changes quickly as the Rangers come back to get it. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the third period. Score tied at 2. Litzter from center, he's checked. Bordelot had to play it back inside his own line, and now he comes back and picks it up and dropped it. Gets going again. Pass is chopped for Bordelot. Out of the net, Richter. Smart move, if he can play it, and he does. Bordelot was strong in forechecking for Montreal. Rangers get going. Pass through center, Nemchinov. Can't handle it against Wilkie. And Wilkie for the Canadiens back of the net. Quickly rifled it off the glass and down the ice. This will be icing. Driver back. As we near the 4-minute mark of the third, it's still tied at 2. Up to center for Recchi. He dropped it and savaged the shot. That hit a leg, it bounced to the boards. Gretzky skates out of the zone. Up across center and over the line. Gretzky coming in on goal. And the shot deflected wide of the Montreal net. In the 5-minute mark of the third, we're still tied. And Montreal. Stevenson dumps it in, but Richter was out of the net quickly. Graves over there. Ruchinski checked him. Stevenson back of the goal trying to center it. Keeps going after it. Left it in the corner for Dumfus. Ruchinski again. And Dumfus. Stevenson around the net. Hooked it out front of the goal. And Richter had to go down quickly to make the save and hang on to it.
You are watching Doubleheader Saturday on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Some good hard low play by the Montreal Canadiens, and Mark Messier for the second time this game makes a nice defensive play, and that's why there's not a lot on that puck. Ruchinski was in the slot. Messier hooked onto him, and Richter had to spread out a little bit, but there wasn't much on the shot because of Messier's good play.
On the face-off, Bukaboom. Puck on the boards, and Bukaboom left it in front of the net for Leach to get it out. Messier dumped it in for Graves. His sharp angle shot is booted out by Thibault. Dumfus racing to center ice, gets the line, and had it knocked away before he could set it up. During the 6-minute mark of the third, Messier just missed a pass at the blue line. Popovich for the Canadiens. Poked it ahead along the boards. Domfus on the move. Doesn't get the pass. Murray went in trying to shoot it himself, but it was easily blocked and cleared back of the net. Coming out, Kovalev. Up through center. A little bit of room for him to shoot it into the Montreal zone. Bill Berg of the Rangers. Pinned in on the boards, and Murray had to hurry, but he couldn't clear it out of the zone. Emchinov for New York. He stopped, but here's Flatley. Can't get away from Murray, or can he? It rolled loose all right, but Brisebois took it, and he just rolled it all the way down the ice. Icing waved off, and Richter nearly made a bad move by clearing it himself. Nearly gave it to Murray. Out comes Flatley. Berg with him. Flatley coming for the net, dropped it back. Driver up there with him. It's centered again, and Richer covered. Murray, no place to go, so he had to back up. Now he's hauled down by Berg. He's on the puck, and that stops the play. They just mill around.
Sorry, Bob, a lot of this has been going on throughout the hockey game, and again, Murray's involved, but a little smarter this time. He doesn't retaliate. Guess who? Once again, Bill Berg, who drew a penalty in the first period, trying to get another one. And Steve Shutt spoke with Murray on the bench after his last careless penalty in the second period against Bill Berg. And Murray did a much better job this time of keeping his cool.
Don't forget, right after this game, second half of our Saturday night doubleheader, Toronto in Colorado. We are approaching the 7-minute mark of the third here at the Molson Center. From the line, Karpatsev trying to stick handle through. Might have been a bad move. The Canadiens get it out quickly. Rangers trying to get back. They got back in time to spoil one shot, but it was a close call with 3 Canadiens up on the rush. Now the Rangers, Robitaille. He's with Gretzky, missed him with the pass. Puck loose, and Montreal on it. Backhanded in over the line. Richer knocked down by Samuelson. Some punches thrown back and forth, but the play is allowed to continue. Gretzky weaving his way over the line is stopped. And Savage stalled for time before dumping it in. Bukaboom. Didn't waste any time shooting that one out. Kovalev nowhere near. Domfus turning it back for Montreal. In a 2-2 tie as we come up to the 8-minute mark of the third. Kovalev missed a chance to set it up for Messier. Popovich stopped. Checking close again. Lucinski dropped it back in his own zone. Fans trying to get the Habs pumped up a bit for the go-ahead goal. They shoot it in. Lucinski grabbed from behind by Kovalev. And again, the play continues, and the Rangers pick it up. They try to come out, and they do. Leach. Hard pass for Graves to handle. Rangers are changing. Canadiens, everybody covered, so they just dump it out to center ice. Kovalev bump. Popovich stopped him. In town, side of his own net. Popovich straight ahead with it. Bure and Bordelot. They get it in, but Richter again leaving the net, poking it to the corner, but it's centered quickly. No Canadian player was in on it, and a second puck on the ice. And that's tough to handle, so they call the play.
And again with Richer in the neutral zone, and boy, he can really get under players' skin. He was pushing him and tried to draw another penalty. Again, Richer did a nice job of keeping his cool.
A 2-2 tie, nearing the halfway mark of the third period at the Molson Center in Montreal. Puck over the glass and behind Thibault.
And the Rangers' strategy this third period is just to make sure they get it in deep in the neutral zone. and try and get some pressure. Now remember, the Rangers have changed their style considerably by playing a more containment game, and here's this example I was telling you about. Samuelsson goes after Richer, trying to draw a penalty. He'll give him a little face wash. They get all tangled up in the neutral zone, and nothing really happens afterwards, no penalty.
Malikov, the Canadian defenseman, going back to the net. Driver stopped it just outside the line, but the Canadians hop on it quickly and move it in. Rangers all back. Flatley, rink wide pass, and Berg shovels one in. Flatley took it off the boards with him. Chinov coming in with him. Lidster from the line, shot, tipped in front of the net. Loose puck. Thibault sprawling. Got in front of it, and he got some help from Malikov, who held on to it.
Nemchinov and company do a nice job of getting in front of Thibault on this play. Now, Thibault will let rebounds out. He does it a lot, but he finds this puck through traffic. And there goes the rebound, and Flatley tries to catch it. Malikov does a nice job in front of taking him, but the Rangers' strategy now is to get pucks on the net and get big, fat, juicy rebounds. And as I mentioned, Thibault will let them out. Malikov had to go right over top of him and make a pretty good play and save a goal as Flatley was trying to tap in the rebound.
Rangers have the Gretzky line on again. That's Sundstrom on the right, Robitaille on the left. Brecky to take center ice for Canadians. He won the draw and got it up to Richer. Karpatsev was back. Rangers take it. Samuelsson dumping one in wide of the net. Canadian Savage, he's stopped. Sundstrom trying to backhand pass into Gretzky. He poked it out to Robitaille. Good shot by Robitaille. Came close. Back to the net again, Gretzky. Watch it. He centered it. It bounced by everybody, and the Rangers keep it in. Gretzky backhands it across in front of the net to Robitaille. There's Gretzky again. He's knocked down. Gets back up and took a few swings himself. Gretzky was knocked down by Brisebois. He got back up. I haven't seen this in such a long, long time. I
don't know that I've ever seen this either. Wayne Gretzky just completely lost it on this play.
Well, he was knocked from behind. He kind of went down, got back up, went after Bree. You'll see it now. Here, he's rubbed up a bit along the boards and got down. Now he gets back up, lost the helmet, and came right back up with a high elbow on Brisebois.
And at times, you know, it's the players that do it to you that upset you the most. And Brisebois doesn't want any part of even Wayne Gretzky afterwards, you can imagine.
Gretzky goes straight to the penalty box. Rough in. Well, that might liven up proceedings here in the third period. Rangers power play in the game 0 for 3. The Montreal power play in the game 1 for 3. That was the Dom Foose goal. So the Canadiens have this power play, and Dom Foose has this puck. But a pass back, and not a good one. And Messier easily intercepted it and threw it down on the net. 30 seconds of the Gretzky penalty has gone. Canadiens in a 2-2 tie with the Rangers moving up. And they're in on the puck. Back to the goal. Can't center it. Malikov will stop it at the line and get a shot. He'll miss the net. Brisebois feeds it in behind the goal. Bukaboom got it out far enough. But then Ruchinski intercepted in front of Messier. Here's the setup. Brisebois' low shot. And Richter was very careful going down. He made the stick save and then held it in the penalty to Gretzky. 1 minute and 3 seconds.
A couple of bad clearings by the Rangers on the defense. You know, when you have the puck behind the net, you're killing a penalty. If you don't have a play, you just eat it and buy time. But what they did is throw it around the boards, and the wingers were not in position. Graves went after Brisebois throughout that shift, and that's a bit of a payback for the Gretzky situation. That's why everybody loves Adam Graves. You look after your star players, and Brisebois is smarting a little bit because of the shot by Adam Graves.
Samuelson ripped it by the defenseman at the line all the way back down the ice. Cal didn't have a chance to stop it. But now he'll pick it up and come away with it. Down the right wing boards to center. Shoots it before he hit the line, allowing Kovalev time to go after it. He did. Recchi, though, fed it back. Wilkie from the blue line. Right at Richter. He saw it all the way, and that was not a problem. Now, only 36 seconds left on this Montreal power play.
Ulf Samuelsson, he does a pretty good thing behind the net here. He makes the initial check. Now he has to get back and block out Ricky, and he does it well. He wasn't in good position originally, but he cut the net off so Ricky could not get the rebound on David Wilkie's shot from the point.
Puck is cleared back through center ice. In back of the net, Kovalev. And again, the Canadiens have to come back. Wilkie. Starting up. Recchi was on the move. The pass got in front of him and then found its way back to Murray, but he's stopped. Quintal tried to carry on. And the puck cleared out over the line. Penalty is over. Gretzky on the ice with Messier, no less. He's coming in. Messier drives, and Thibault stopped him. 7:20 left in the third period. A 2-2 tie. Up for Canadian Savage. Richter looked a little shaky, making the stick save on that one. And Messier coming across center again. In with Kovalev and Gretzky. Gretzky is in front of the net. The pass, though, was deflected back out over the line. Driver drives it in to Gretzky. Gretzky mishandled it, and Bure takes over for Montreal. Right wing pass, Nemchinov ran into Brisebois. Canadians dump it into the right of the net, and back was Flatley. Left it back of the goal. Bure had a chance, couldn't move quickly enough. Dumfus tied up. Nemchinov skating to center ice for New York. Down the wing. Bird tried to feed it back to him. It did get over in front of the net. Scramble for it. Driver's shot. A weak one. Didn't hit the net. Still tied at 2. And an icing call coming up. But Richter decides to play it, so they wave it off. Richter tried to stop it a second time. Driver got back. Driver holding it with a skate. He lost his stick. Broke it, as a matter of fact. He'd love to get a whistle, but he won't on that effort. 3 players in on the boards. Driver was in there also. Dumfus stopping one. And the play call. 5:47 remaining.
Gretzky were to win the scoring title, and he's bidding fair right now. It would be 16 years between his first and this year. He has the record of 13 years between scoring wins. Gordie Howe had 12.
5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third period. Here at the Molson Center in Montreal. The score is tied at 2. Brisebois back deep in his own zone. Robitaille rubbed him a bit. Noonan threw it back to the net to Gretzky. He tried to get out front, nearly did. And Thibault was waiting for that move and smothered it.
Dick, you mentioned how Gretzky has the ability to find areas where nobody else is. He does it again. He tries to one-time this pass. It's amazing he knows that he has a player open in front. You can't even really see him look up, but certainly he does. He tries to one-touch the pass through. Doesn't quite make it as Thibault gets a stick. And there's Robitaille, who was wide open coming into your screen, and that's who Wayne Gretzky was trying to find on that one-time pass to the slot.
Gretzky remains on against Recchi. Won the faceoff, but the pass got through the 2 defensemen. Karpatsev backhands it in. Brisebois coming behind the net. Gretzky in for checking. Canadiens, Recchi skated by him without a problem. Got up over center, got in over the line. Recchi fired one to the corner. Samuelsson was Savage all over him. Puck in on the board. Savage gets it out to Recchi. To the line. Brisebois, no shot. Broke the stick. Two Rangers move out, led by Gretzky. Noonan, the other player, takes a pass with Robitaille, dropped it. Karpatsev decides to pinch in. Nearly got caught, but the Rangers got it in deep enough, and Brisebois, without a stick, went over after it, and the play was called.
Matt Sundin warming up as the Leafs and the Colorado Avalanche will be part 2 of our doubleheader. There's Joe Sakic, former teammate of Sundin's, and on the left, Pierre Sevigny. The Canadiens get caught with too many men on the ice. The Rangers have a power play.
And they are 0 for 3 in that department in the hockey game. What a time to break it out now. With a score tied at 2 and only 4:30 left in the third period. Graves. Kovalev in with him, so is Messier. Back to the line to Leach and Driver. Ahead it goes. Back it comes. Up she goes to Kovalev. Fake the shot. Now Driver's shot. Blocked. Canadiens covering well. Great four-man box. The Canadiens set up very tight in front of Thibault. The Rangers figured no chance to get a shot through. Messier lugs it in. Kovalev takes it off the boards, back of the net, takes a hit. Messier comes in with Graves. The Rangers get the puck all right on a power play. They whip it into the corner for Messier. Graves in front. Kovalev, the big circle into Messier. Now Kovalev, still no shot from him. There it goes. That's probably why he didn't want to shoot it. So many players in front, and it hit a stick and got into the crowd.
Well, Bob, you just mentioned the patient box by the Montreal Canadiens against the New York Ranger power play. The reason they're doing it this way, with so many skilled players on the ice for the Rangers, you can't run at anybody. They will beat you one-on-one unless you're sure that the player doesn't have possession. And that's why Popovich went up on that last play. But now, back to the patience. Keep them on the outside. Don't put yourself out of position, and certainly don't run at the players, because you know on a one-on-one, the Rangers will win that battle. They're just too skilled offensively. Works for them all the way down. They shoot it all the way down hard as well. That's a perfect penalty kill by the Montreal Canadiens, and they've been very effective against the #1 power play in the league all game long.
Once again, there's some extra space at the Montreal bench. Scott Thornton, you recall, he was in a fight early in the game with Shane Churla. Thornton gone to hospital for x-rays of the ring finger on his left hand. Injured, and x-rays are being taken.
Face off inside the Montreal line. 50 seconds left in the Canadiens penalty. Robitaille and Gretzky coming back near the line. Gretzky shoveled one in there, and a big rebound off Thibault, but the Montreal Canadiens were on it, covering up and clearing it. 30 seconds left on this power play for New York. Sundstrom to Gretzky. Fake one way, flipped it the other. Sundstrom on it. And it's the Canadiens failing to get it out. Leach to Gretzky, and he missed on that short side. Sundstrom ripped one in off the boards. Gretzky digging in for it. Ian Barron, and the Canadiens get it high and down the ice, and the penalty is over. Sevigny out of the box and going to the Canadiens bench for the change. So 2:35 remaining in the third. Samuelsson driving one. Thibault the save. Gretzky keeps it in, centered it. Nobody open over it in front of the net, and Montreal dump it away again. And that will be an icing call with 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Face off to the left of Thibault. 2:16 left in regulation time. Score tied at 2. Rangers long shot, big rebound, up over the net. Flatley lifted one high. Now he's back at the net, coming out front. Turns, is tied up. Worked for it again. Flatley shot right in front of the net, and Bird couldn't find it. Savage off his skate. In deep. Richter leading that net and missing the puck again. Several times that's happened. Malakoff now. Fired one in. Big chance on the short side, but the skate was there on the post. And Richter kept it up. He's got caught 2 or 3 times.
You know, Richter needs a little help. He's going behind the net now. It's up to the Rangers to hold up Savage so he can make the right play. He's pressured by the Montreal Canadiens, and it almost cost the Rangers a goal, as Richter never really gets set on the centering pass. It almost stuck between his skate and his pad, but Richter's scrambling now, and when you scramble back to the net, it's very difficult to find where you are in the goal. Puck almost squeaks through as he fell almost coming back to his post.
All right, set to go again to the right of Mike Richter. 1:40 left in the third period. 2-2 tie here in Montreal. Rangers get it ahead to Messier. Fanned on the pass attempt, so then shot it in. Kovalev couldn't steal it behind the net. Rutinsky for Canadiens. Center, dumped it in. And Stevenson failed to find it in behind him. Kovalev down the right side, dropping it to Messier, trying to get the backhand pass back to him. Graves went in after it, but it'll be Montreal moving it out. Minute 10 left in the third period. Leach took care of his man along the boards. Then Dumfus was caught. Final minutes. Popovic shot. Hit the side of the net. Rangers, Graves. Messier is up near center. Kovalev with him. He had to glove the high pass. 45 seconds left. Savage dumping one in. Ran into Robitaille. He did. Pulled him over. Savage keeping it in for Canadiens. 34 seconds left in regulation. Score tied at 2. Canadiens fans cheering him on. Trying to get one. But it'll be New York. Robitaille coming to center. He shoots it in for the Rangers. Barron back to the net. To Recchi. And Recchi scooped it out. 12 seconds away from overtime. Karpovtsev ahead. 5 seconds left for Robitaille. Rolled it in front. Gretzky. Back shot. Oh, that just missed. Just before the siren. And we've got overtime coming up. The Rangers 2. The Canadiens 2. In overtime. When we come back.
In Montreal, but welcome to Denver. Chris Cuthbert along with Harry Neal as the Maple Leafs get set to take on the Avalanche. Harry, a tough task to win at any time in this building, but if the Leafs are going to, tonight might be the night.
Yes, 6 regulars, including Forsberg and Lefebvre, are out of the lineup for Colorado. But if the Leafs have any intention of taking advantage of this, they have to play with a lot more determination tonight than they did last night against Phoenix.
First of 4 meetings for the Maple Leafs against the defending Stanley Cup champions. And now let's go back to the Molson Center. Here are Bob, Greg, and Dick.
Thank you, Chris and Harry. Both working on suntans just before Christmas, I'm sure. And here it's rather chilly in Montreal, I guess today, Dick, minus 10, something like that. The brisk chill wind, but in here in the Molson Center tonight, the warm hearts of Christmas, and there's Gretzky working.
The tying goal, Sundstrom. Gretzky, as Greg pointed out, everybody going for him. He can mesmerize you. And the game was tied. Bob, you got a little agitated over that very unusual bit of business when Gretzky got the penalty. That's only his 4th minor penalty of the season. He looked like a guy that would be a lot more than that the way he acted in that play with Breezeball.
Karpovtsev shot it in for New York. Gretzky in trying to find Breezeball. He won't. Savage up through center. And the puck rifled high over the boards of the Ranger bench. He's had 2 assists tonight. The Rangers have had only 2 goals. The Canadiens 2. Recchi and Dumfus, Samuelson and Sundstrom for New York.
You know what he said last year? Everybody was calling me an old 34, and this year they're calling me a young 35. Wayne said, figure that one out.
Overtime in Montreal. And the Rangers. Dangerous rink-wide pass up to Sundstrom, but it gets to Gretzky. Comes in with a setup in front of Robitaille. He backhands it blindly back in front of the net. Sundstrom to Gretzky. This is dangerous. Gretzky is waiting for somebody to come to the net. There he is. All the patience in the world in overtime. And there it is. The Rangers won it on a perfect setup by Gretzky. 3-2. Merry Christmas. Amazing. Absolutely amazing is what people say.
A young 35 indeed. I want to tell you, fellas, the two games that Gretzky's played in this building this year have been two of the best that he's played outside international competition in Montreal since very early in his career, really. He's never put on shows like he has this season playing for the Rangers for a long time.
And it's the player without the puck. The Canadiens just have to stay patient. Robitaille cycles, Richer lets him go, and you know Wayne will find him sooner or later. It's incredible.
Well, as we talked about it, we saw Wayne go back like this. Now you see him looking. Now he's waiting. Two or three players. Samuelson had come into his right. He didn't think that was the proper one. He saw Robitaille's circle. There it is. Right on the tape. And the Rangers won it 3-2.
Molson 3 stars this evening in Montreal. Wayne Gretzky, as you might expect, #1 with 3 assists, setting up all the goals, including the game winner. Vincent Damphousse, great for the Canadiens, and Luc Robitaille scores the winner in OT. The Rangers defeat Montreal 3-2, and here's a look at the artistry as Bob Cole described it. He's just waiting for everything to take shape and then feeds the pass. Don Cherry will have analysis of that as we move along on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Well, if you loved hockey, you loved the holiday treat this evening at the Molson Center in Montreal. The New York Rangers, in dramatic style, defeat the Montreal Canadiens 3-2. And Wayne, that was just a really enjoyable night. How was it to you?
Well, it's always nice when you win. It was a big win, but you know, Richter made some big saves early in the game. They really outplayed us, and first period we could have been down a couple, but Richter's been sharp for the last month, and that was the difference in the game.
There was a neat little play right at the end of the second period. You were just finishing up a shift, and you tapped Jocelyn Thibault on the pad, so there was a lot of good sportsmanship, and you also handled the Breezebo incident at that really well. We talked about this earlier in the show, that the star players, sometimes with the instigator rule, you don't have anybody to run shotgun anymore, but rather than use your stick, you just more or less made a point, I think.
Well, he's playing me hard, and I know I'm going to play against him every shift, and he's got a job to do, and he's not going to try to let me get away. He's going to hit me as much as possible. And he hit me once in the corner. I thought that was a little bit enough, and I kind of swung at him. And, you know, he was probably nice enough not to swing back, but got myself involved. And you know, guys like Churla are an important part of our hockey club. And, you know, as you said, you know, we're going to get hit, and that's part of the game. But you know, guys like Shane Churla, they stick their noses in. We're losing 2-1. He gets in a battle there and might turn the game around.
I know Mike Milbury told Ziggy Palffy, don't fight, but do something to defend yourself. What do you think about your team when you see big Philadelphia, Pittsburgh's got some size, Washington, Florida are tough teams. Do you stack up well enough?
Yeah, we do. We got a very good hockey club. You know, let's be honest. I mean, Flyers are a very big, strong hockey club. Pittsburgh's a big team. You know, but it takes heart to beat people with a puck and take a hit to make a play. And, you know, the good thing about the way the game is right now is there's not going to be a big change between the regular season and playoff hockey as there has been in the past. Right now, they're playing the game, they're calling the game more like playoff hockey than I've ever seen, which probably is going to benefit a lot of teams. And we think that it's going to benefit a team like us who gets used to playing that kind of hockey game in, game out. Come playoff time, we'll be ready for the same kind of hockey. So we like our team, and as I said, you know, you don't have to be tough to not make a play. You know, you got to stick your nose in and take a hit to make a play, and that's the way we feel we are.
I wish I had 10 minutes, but just to ask you about, I don't want to gush. Everybody is. Red Fisher never gushes. You saw a beautiful article on you today, and everybody's really impressed. Is it the World Cup that got you ready? Is it the depth of talent around you? Is it reduced travel? What accounts for your wonderful year?
Well, I think it's a combination of everything. I think, first of all, playing with Mark, he has been a big help both on and off the ice, and I've really enjoyed playing with him. And I think he gives me a lot of room when he's out there and his line goes and our line follows them, and I think it opens up the ice for us. I think as a line, our line's playing well. I think the World Cup, I think playing for Glenn again, and he really pushed me during the World Cup. I enjoyed it and I worked hard, but he really took the time to kind of pull me aside and talk to me. And, you know, all the people I've had in my career, my father and Glenn were probably the two guys that I respected most, and the guys that kind of pushed me and motivated me and made me go harder. So I think the World Cup was a big step for me, and I've really loved playing in New York. It's a great place.
Saw the game in Edmonton. Wished you and Mark and Gravy would have started together, but I think eventually you'll play on a line sometime this season, but you keep her going. It's just wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Wayne Gretzky, Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you.
And to you and Phyllis and Walter back in Brantford watching Game 2 coming up.
Toronto. He came up and asked for my autograph in Boston days in the bar there. The other, what's the name of it, Marley's?
Phoenix, yes.
Just before you started the fight.
He's a wonderful fellow, right. Merry Christmas to all the O'Sullivans and to all hockey
love
players.
Those Boston accents, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I love them.
So to your glory days.
And my glory days.
Well,
not bad now.
You're doing okay, yes.
Hey, I want to say something about Brisbois, okay? Everybody upstairs, well, not us, but in the French, were saying he showed restraint. What he should have done is gotten a fight with Gretzky. He would have got 7 minutes, and he would have been off, and he wouldn't have been on for the setting up the goal.
But would he have been accused of doing exactly that, picking on... you never sent anybody after Guy Lafleur?
Never sent him. Gretzky went after him. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine backing down like that? I mean, well... Anyhow, I want to show you who Gretzky passed the puck through. Are we going to show it?
Sure.
All right, let's see. Watch it.
Goal.
You got to leave him back there. Everybody says what you do back there. Now watch. Watch the guy he passes. There's the Brisbois in front, standing in front. He gives it that one. He's got to be afraid he doesn't walk out, eh? You see, and Harry comes back again. So you're trying to keep him. Now watch. He comes, and this is one. Brisbois standing there with his finger up his nose. And there it is in the net. Way to go, Gretzky. And he went right off the ice. Do you see that?
Yes, he always does. Roars off.
Well, I know, but not that way. It was like he was ticked off. He was in here, and it's a funny thing. I talked to him, I remember in Detroit after St. Louis, and I'll tell you, talk about a guy that was dying of the flu. Everybody was jumping on him. He's finished. Isn't it sad? And it's funny now. Everybody's back at his bandwagon again. All of a sudden, big write-ups and what a wonderful guy he is. And guys like him, remember, who stuck with him when he was down.
Yeah, I'll tell you another guy. He's Al Strachan on the hot stove. Took a lot of slings and arrows for saying good things about him all last year. And I'm certainly with him now.
Sure you are. So the rest of the people are. And all of a sudden, now we can play for the Olympics, I guess, now, eh? Do you think so?
Yeah.
Remember remember all the write-ups, it'd be sad to see him and Messier on the Olympics. Remember that stuff?
Absolutely.
No, all of a sudden he's a hero again.
I was really excited with their lone trip to Edmonton. I thought they'd start together. I thought maybe Coley Campbell was saying, no, it's Mark Messier's team still. He didn't want him to get the impression that it's all
silly
entertainment.
Stuff. No. That's silly.
It is silly?
You should go ski and never mind the hockey. I'll take care of that, okay?
All right. Skiing is believing. Let's look at the scores around the NHL here this evening. Philadelphia.
Holy, how about Jimmy Roberts? He takes over. They can't get a goal. Tell you, boy, that's a big club. And I understand there's rumors that Tocchet might go to Philly. You imagine if they get Tocchet.
Also, Detroit's supposed to be in the hunt for Tocchet.
Well, I'd rather see him in. This is a beauty too. Pekka, I'd rather see him in Detroit. I mean, him and Shanahan on the line. Pekka gets the goal. I love that Pekka boy. Vancouver should never have given him away.
Poor Ottawa had a goal disallowed. Yeah. We didn't see this. Did you say, Eddie? No. But they looked like they scored the tying goal, Duchesne, but Daniel Alfredson was ruled skating the crease, and that's twice in the last 2 weeks. Phoenix, it was 3-2. Ottawa looked to have tied it.
I still say if it's not interfering, they should let it go. Boston, who's the goalie for Boston?
Rob Tallis.
Did a good job. He outshot 2-1 in 2 periods, and he held him in there.
So the Bruins starting to play better at the Fleet Center. How about them? They get blitzed 6-zip, 4-zip, walk into Pittsburgh and beat the Penguins to end their hot streak, and now they're rolling ever since. Good for Steve Casper.
Thanks.
Yes. Hartford in OT wins it.
Never been the same. Cicerelli got one. He got 3 points tonight, but he kind of cooled off a little. Paul Maurice, he's got those guys going. Sanderson from the Arctic is still going.
21 goals now for Jeff 2 tonight. Victor Kozlov opened the scoring. Lemieux's got a goal and an assist. That gives him 50 points. Yager has an assist, 50 points. Gretzky with 51, leading the NHL right now. 2-1, Pittsburgh leading San Jose, and this is a final where Mike Milbury's Islanders fall in Uniondale by 1 to Dallas. It's 5 in a row for the Stars, Doc.
No matter how good the Islanders do, they can't drop flies there.
You think they'll stay there?
If he stays there, they're nuts because they're playing good hockey and they're still not drawn. They should get out of there fast. Here they go.
Right on to Denver, Colorado next for the Leafs and the Avalanche on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Come on, Toronto.